Joining me now, Eric Mandel. He is the director of the Middle East Political Information Network. All right, good to have you with us, Eric. A lot to break down, but the big picture that President Trump is pushing, and we'll discuss whether or not he's right to single out these 4 Democratic freshman congresswomen. The big picture that the president is highlighting is that Israel feels abandoned by Democrats. Does he have a point there?
Well, I was in Congress last week, and I spoke actually to one of the leading Democratic leaders, a moderate, and they were very frustrated with these 4 young congresswomen who I will differentiate them as being far left progressives as opposed to moderate liberals that are out there. So as far as abandoning Israel, I don't believe so. Israel is hopefully a bipartisan issue that is for American national security interests, and they do have, unfortunately, a growing wing that is harshly critical, but these 4 have gone beyond the pale, especially to Tlaib and Omar, who have said truly anti-Semitic things by a definition of anti-Semitism.
Eric, I hear your point about the importance of maintaining Israel as a bipartisan issue, and granted, there are several Democrats that still strongly support Israel, but it's not just these far left squad, members of the squad, as they're known. When we've just played Joe Biden, the front runner for the candidate to represent the Democrats in the 2020 election, Pete Buttigieg, referring to Israel as occupying land, when even by international law, it's referred to as disputed territories. We've had practically all of the Democratic candidates saying that they would want the U.S. to go back into a deal with Iran. So is it a bigger problem beyond the fringe?
So we want to look at this, is this just anti-Trump, or is this part of where the Democratic Party is? And I think it's a combination of both. Let's start with Joe Biden. So Joe Biden was vice president during the infamous UN Security Council Resolution 2334, which said that even the Western Wall was a war crime. So he can't really run away from that. And he knows well that even Yitzhak Rabin thought that places over the Green Line, like the Jordan River Valley and places like Gush Etzion and Ariel, were always going to be part of this, a part of a future Israeli state. And also he knows, but he's playing the politics now, that Israel is offered multiple times for having land swaps, including I was at the PLO Fatah offices last week, and that even Saeb Erekat had said earlier this year that Israel had offered more than 100%. So this is not about occupation and settlements. And so Joe Biden is playing to move to the left in order to win enough of the primaries.
Okay, but when you have Nancy Pelosi now saying that she wants to get a resolution in the House condemning the president for his tweets against these congresswomen, when she wasn't able to get a resolution condemning anti-Semitism, does that damage the Democrats in the long run?
Well, if this is a political maneuver by President Trump and his political people, I think that's what they're trying to do. I don't think this is the right thing to do for the American democracy. I really don't believe there's so much to attack these 4 women on their policies and anti-Semitism.
But this is a policy attack.
I think there's too much ad hominem here.
It's the first thing that most of these congresswomen talked about. They came right out of the gate with anti-Israel comments.
They did, and so that's the policy you bring them down on. But the president, I think, totally took the issue away by telling them to go back to their countries, considering they are duly elected. And I've been harshly critical of them, but they are all Americans, and we are a land that has had immigrants since our beginning. And so I think that was a wrong path, a divisive path. Maybe it's a politically expedient path, but I don't think it's the right path that should have been chosen here, because I think of things going beyond this particular election in 2020. Going forward, this is not healthy for our country.
But is it racist, as he's being accused of being, when you're attacking people for their ideas?
No. Listen, there was a brilliant piece by Ayan Hirsi Ali in the Wall Street Journal this week that made it very clear and explained the prejudice and anti-Semitism of somebody like Ilhan Omar. Attacking those type of prejudices, anti-Semitism, which has been blatant, attacking basically some of their socialism / going into communism, those are all legitimate, but not going them as people, I think that is the wrong thing. And I think the president, I think I kind of agree with Lindsey Graham here, that as the president, you should hold yourself to a little higher standard when dealing with renegades in the other party.
All right, Eric Mandel, this is certainly a controversial issue, which I'm sure we will continue to discuss. Thank you so much for being with us, Eric Mandel.